Thanks everyone. Australian head coach Andrew McDonald here to take your question today. Clearly we probably won't get to everyone, so if someone wants to lead us off and get us underway, we'll go to Tom over the back.
Thanks, Scott. Ronnie, Sam Konstas with Sam speak, he seems so laid back for a 19-year-old kid. What's he been like amongst the team since saying?
Yeah, he's been very similar to what I've seen on the outside with him. So composed, relaxed, knows his game, in a good place at the moment. So and he'll play Boxing Day. So I'll get that one out of the way.
What's he shown that suggests that he's going to be ready? This is really a huge match. It's the Cauldron's Boxing Day 1-1 series.
Yeah, I mean, we've said from the get-go when leading into the summer that we wouldn't shy away, and age was no barrier. And what he's shown is a array of shots, the ability to put pressure back onto opponents. And he gets his opportunity. So we're really excited for him. Boxing Day, the biggest stage, you might as well get that one out of the way early.
Track had you sort of what out there before. Is there anything you previously you reckon he'll play?
Yeah, really confident that he'll play. Has he got some things to work through? Yeah, he has. So that's what you would have seen. There's no concern at the moment. Has he been officially ticked off? I'm not sure. I didn't see the sort of back end of his training session there, but I'm pretty confident he'll play.
What are the things he needs to do to get through?
That's probably a medical question. I think he looked good with the bat in hand, so obviously his skills are in good order. It'll just be basically what risk is associated with that. He had a small strain to the quad. I think that was declared. Hopefully it was declared. So he'll just go through that. But no concerns from my end. He's been able to do his running. So I think he'll be fully functional come the game time.
Sam behind the pole.
Well, it looks like you guys had a pretty lengthy chat with Chad and equally kind of coming out of the ends. You travel through, like, what's that conversation like? And do you go back and you get a little bit of treatment? Like, what's the management like?
It was a little chat. It was more around his fielding position and what he was capable of there. Clearly coming off a strain, he's got that, obviously the demands of bat pad. So that's all that was about. And my question to Nick Jones was just around what he's got to do to finish off the session. So I was across it beforehand. I was just making sure nothing had changed during the session. And then we just started to speak about India, what they might do. So it was nothing really that specific. It might have looked that way, but sometimes looks can be deceiving.
Goes back, John.
And so does that mean Josh Inglis is on standby?
The rest of the team, Paddy will go with the rest of the team tomorrow. Yeah, so I was allowed to declare the Konstas one. I thought you might like that one. So, but Paddy will go through the usual regime tomorrow.
Coach just saw Australian team practicing a lot of left-arm spinners. What do you make of the wicket, and is there any specific way to the way we are seeing the Australian team is practicing a lot of left-arm spinners?
Yeah, we think Jadeja will play, so that's what we're preparing with left arm spin. What I will make of the surface, it looks pretty similar to the previous few years. It's going to be a big decision though come the day of the game. I think traditionally it's been bowl first, but with the heat around and it looks similar, but it's probably a little bit better than what it has in previous years. So, decision for the captains to make at the toss, I think.
That's right.
Andrew, can you just go in a little bit to the decision-making behind the change of Nathan out to Sammy, and sort of at what point were you thinking you needed to do something a little bit different there at the top of the order?
Yeah, I think George has sort of gone through that and many people have spoken about it. We want to throw a different challenge at India at this point in time. We believe Nathan is good enough for test level. We weren't sure about how the top order was functioning. We challenged ourselves for that decision. We've come up with that. Whether it works or not, time will tell. There'll be plenty of debate around should he, shouldn't he, what does that look like? And that's fantastic. Selection's always heavily debated. Our job's to make calls. We've made it. We're really confident that Sam can do the job.
Andrew, in the last 3 series, India haven't lost any game here at MCG, 2 wins and a draw. Will that put extra pressure on Australia? Series is at a very critical point, 1-1 each, and to Sydney where they can play.
No, I mean, every game starts afresh. If you sort of took previous form lines and, from Perth to Adelaide, it should have looked like India winning that one as well. So different teams, different structures. I think both teams have got similar challenges at the moment. How do you find runs? Both bowling attacks have been on top, and I think this wicket, as I said, potentially might offer the batters a little bit more in terms of the surface as the game draws on. But I'm not a big believer in history repeating itself, so it starts afresh, different groups, different challenges. We'll go in with an open mind to what it looks like.
Coach, Usman Khwaja has scored only 2 half centuries in the last 20 innings. What has been the discussion with him, and how do you see his form heading into this one?
I think he's fine. I think Usman's not a concern. I think the way he's preparing, the way he's going about his work, I think the runs will come. Anyone that knows batting, and batting obviously in recent times has been quite difficult with ball dominating bats. So his method's clear, the way he's preparing is clear, and good players always return to the runs, and I'm sure that'll be the case over the next couple of Test matches.
Yes, sir.
So, what's your thinking on how Marcus Labuschagne is going? Because it started pre-Adelaide, he was batting a bit more positive in the nets. But yesterday and today seems to be going for his shots. Is it, you guys had a chat with him how he should be batting, or is it just him doing it?
There's always discussions going on, and I think we're pretty much on the record around when he's at his best. He's showing that intent. He's busy at the crease, and we saw that in Adelaide. Significant challenge at the Gabba, and as I said, ball's dominated bat, so a lot of the batters haven't had much flow in this series on both sides of it. So, but when he's at his best, he's busy, he's got that intent, and he can be quite annoying at the crease, and we want to see an annoying man. It's Boxing Day.
You spoke about the challenges for is this one a fair reflection of the kind of
Sorry, mate.
one a true reflection of the quality of cricket that
I think so. I think we're driving the game in Brisbane. If we were to be fair there, the surface potentially would have become more variable as the game went on, but the weather was probably always going to be the winner there. So, it's probably a true reflection. I think it was always going to be a closely fought Test series, and it wasn't always going to be a 4-1 either way. So where it's at the moment, I think is probably where we thought it would be at.
Louis?
From anything chat from presuming Scotty,
If we didn't pick Scotty here, and I know I'm not allowed to declare the team because that's Pat's job tomorrow, but I don't think I'm coming to the ground Boxing Day if Scotty's not in the 11. So you can go with that one as well. But look, our bowling, we've got great depth in our bowling. And just to clear up, Mitch Marsh is fully fit and available to bowl. And I know that he only bowled 2 overs last game and people were speculating around that. But that was more because of the weather interventions, and we're able to keep our fast bowlers fresh, albeit we only had 2 out of the 3 operating. But yeah, he's ready to go. And I think he'll play a role in this Test match with the ball more so than the previous ones.
Dan? Back row.
and twofold. Travis, do you know when that injury actually occurred? And two, in terms of Sam Konstas, when did he find out? What was his reaction at the time?
I'll go with the first one, Heady. So it happened in that second innings. I think he just went to take off after a single. So I wasn't aware of it at the time. And then as it played out, you saw some of the replays coming up and he wasn't moving as well. So as I said, it was only minor. And then Sam, everyone's excited for him. Anytime you get a debutant, it's a moment in time, isn't it? And in particular, how young and how free he's going to play. I think it's exciting for the group. No, Dodd told him this morning, so we wanted to get that out of the way. We wanted clarity for our batting unit, so before the team meeting. It's something that we don't usually do because we haven't had too many moving parts, but we thought get that out of the way. Everyone knows that he's in the team, and once we had that information, happy to declare it openly. So.
A few more here, folks. One in the middle back and then there, and then over here.
Except for the second innings, in the Indian batting line has been kept quiet by your bowlers. How satisfying has that been? And do you suspect that the law of average might cut off in the Australian bowlers? This is too good a batting lineup?
Yeah, I think both. As I said before, both batting lineups have struggled. I think that's full credit to both bowling lineups. And the surfaces have probably lent themselves to ball dominating the bat. And that's no different to the previous summers we've had here. So, India's got a dangerous batting lineup. I think there'll be a recalibration somewhere in the next couple of Test matches for both batting lineups. And I think the key thing is once you're in, and as we saw with Steve and Travis at the Gabba, like once you get an opportunity and get in, you can't afford to expose a new batter, and they were able to elongate that partnership, which basically gave us control of the game. So that's going to be the challenge when someone gets in, just go big.
Coach, after the Brisbane game, the last day and a half, when India kind of pulled off and managed to avoid the follow-on, then what they did with the ball, did the mood change inside the Australian dressing room? What were the discussions like? Did you kind of reckon that it was an opportunity to put them further on the match in the series, and they kind of have confidence and momentum on their side now heading into MCG?
No, the mood didn't change, and I think in modern cricket, momentum's a bit of a myth. I think every Test match starts afresh, and I'm not a big believer in momentum. So this test match starts again. How you enter that test match is critically important to what happens during that game. So what happened in Brisbane it's not irrelevant, but it doesn't have a great connection to this game because of the surface and different challenges. So, but our mood didn't change. We knew what we were doing in the second innings. We're trying to accelerate it and try to beat the weather, basically, and the weather beat us. So we were comfortable with losing those amount of wickets in pursuit of a win, and that's the team we want to be.
Last one, Cal.
How does Francis come in camp, and are the bowling loads with your two quicks where they're at, where you thought they would be at this stage, and how important is bringing Jai into these two test matches if there's a short turnaround and do get caught on something that ends up being a bit flatter?
Yeah, Jai's been impressive. Clearly had the setback in the Shield game with the shoulder. Every week that goes on, people are confident that it lessens the risk, and what we saw on the nets today is a highly skilled player, and he's getting somewhere near his best, which is exciting for us. And carrying the two extra quicks in the squad is, with the short turnaround, I think that's real. If this game becomes long into a short turnaround, then you've got to make some decisions. Our frontline quicks in terms of Starkey and Paddy are well placed. Probably less load than we would have ever imagined after 3 test matches. So does that give them opportunity to back up from 4 and 5? I'd say that's highly likely. But as I said, depending on what happens in this game. So they're well placed.